Hello. Um, oh, it looks like I'm kind of breaking up, so hopefully this records okay. Hi. So the technology that I chose, that I picked, um, to do more research on and to implement into the classroom, is the app Google Earth. And we talked about this, I believe it was our first week of classes, and I had so much fun um, just kind of playing around on this app and exploring it. And it really made me think of all the ways that it could be implemented into the classroom. And yeah, it was just not only was it fun and educational, but I can see how easy it would be to use this and implement it. So, to start out with, Google Earth is an app that is compatible for, let's see, I wrote it down for Android or iOS devices, or Windows and Mac devices. Most, not everyone, but a lot of schools have iPads or Chromebooks. So it would be a really easy app to download and for students to use. Once again, not all schools have them, but I know at least in the school district that I'm at, every student has an iPad. And it's a really easy and free, which is my favorite word, free app to download and use. So I think that's really important too, is especially in the world we're living in, is if it's accessible and easy to use, because odds are parents are going to have to help, and some parents aren't super tech savvy, which I'm not a parent, but I'm definitely not tech savvy, so I feel for them. So anything that is easy to understand and use and download, I am all for. And I really feel like Google Earth checks all of those boxes. Um, but once you get it downloaded, I feel like Google Earth is a really great app. It's basically this view and map, and it's so much more than a map, but of the whole world. Um, it's really cool because you could be sitting in a classroom in Corvallis, Oregon, which is where I work, and you could be exploring, you know, the Sahara Desert. You could be, looking at the Atlantic Ocean. You could be exploring the lands of India or Japan or California. Like, the possibilities are endless, and it's really interesting and cool that you're able to explore all of these faraway and foreign places from the comforts of your own home or classroom. And so I think that has a lot of appeal to it. Once again, especially in these COVID ridden times where we're not probably traveling as much. um, but another great um, or another positive and awesome feature of Google Earth is that it would be really easy to implement this in the classroom and in a STEM classroom, and just in a STEM way, because, oh, ah, my computer went black. Sorry. I think my screensaver came on. Sorry. Okay. Hopefully the video is still working. But it's not just for science, technology, engineering, math, although it checks all those boxes and it's a great source for those. But you could also use it in a wide variety of subjects. For example, we talked about math. There's a really great tool where you can um, measure different points and their distances. Um, you know, you could use it for geography, for locating states and cities and continents, oceans, all of that great stuff. You could use it for geography and studying national monuments and historical monuments. There's just so many great ways to utilize this app as, you know, not only as a support for other subjects, but it could really be a standalone lesson also. So there's a lot of really great possibilities. I think it's really, I think it's really great for inquiry-based learning also, because it allows students to kind of explore on their own. The the lesson I'm going to be talking about, I'm obviously going to give them guidelines, but I think this is a really great tool for students to explore themselves, and, they can ask questions. They can get answers to those questions on their own. I won't have to just be up there lecturing them and teaching them, and I'm not going to be repeating something they already know, or, overwhelming some students who might need more support. I think this is a really great way to promote inquiry-based learning, which is also a really big deal in STEM education. Another really great thing about Google Earth is that there is a lot of really great data and research in this app. For example, you could click on the Empire State Building in New York, and it'll tell you, excuse me, some facts about it and show you pictures. Or there's the option to record and use your own data. So you could write out your own facts about it, which is really super awesome. So that's just another great feature. But enough about that, because this is probably already too long because I talk forever. I'm going to try to show you Google Earth, and hopefully this will screen record it. I think this button, maybe? I don't know if you see me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is what, like the home page, not the home page, but what it looks like, Google Earth. And I'm gonna go and click on Launch Earth. And of course my computer is super slow, so this is gonna be the awkward waiting. But while we're waiting for it to load, I can explain a little bit about the lesson. I thought it would be really, really neat to have students plan their own road trip through Google Earth. And like I was saying, I think this is a great opportunity for students to, oh, did it work? It went black. It's loading. A great opportunity for students to really, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Basically, I would set guidelines, but let students come up with their own observations and their own questions. So, for example, we have been talking a lot about TAG students and also our most vulnerable students in my district, and how really those students shouldn't have different workloads, how those students should still be able to be taught in the same classroom and receiving the same information and work, but how we present it to them is how that's going to be different for them and for each student. So, for example, taking this assignment and giving them the guidelines of, you're going on a road trip. Don't just say that they can go on a road trip forever. I would say, you're going on a road trip, you're going to start in Oregon, and you're going to end in Idaho. You will make 4 stops on the way. Those 4 stops can't just be gas stations and restaurants, although you can stop there. But the 4 stops that I care about are stops that have significance and meaning. They don't necessarily have to be historical monuments, but those are an option. There are, national forests and parks that aren't national monuments, but they have significance and meaning. You can find information about them and write about them. So setting those guidelines for students, but really letting them decide what they want to do. So this is what Google Earth looks like when I opened it up, probably because I was playing around with it, which is why it's on Oregon. But what we would do first is we would start a new project, and you can probably see that I've made quite a few, but you would click on new project, and I'm gonna create a project in Google Drive, and I would title that 2020 road trip. And I'm gonna put 2 because I already made one before this. And then you can add a description. So starting in Oregon and ending in Idaho. We will stop at 4 different meaningful places and write 2 facts about each. Okay, so then what's really cool is that this will turn into a presentation. But just to give you an example, is that now I can search for, I'm going to start in Corvallis, Oregon, because that's where I'm from. So I'm just going to put Reser Stadium because that's a good location. I feel like Vogel Point in, not Vogel Point, Central Point in Corvallis. So we have Reser Stadium. So I'm going to click on Reser Stadium, and I'm going to drop a pin at Reser Stadium. And I just press this pin button. Place title, you can put Reser Stadium. What's really cool is you can go to edit and you can upload a picture. So if you click on the picture button, sorry, my computer is really slow. You can also do a video, a photo of your own Google Drive, but I'm gonna go to Google Image and type in Reser Stadium and search. And I like this one, so I'm going to pick this photo. Select. It'll add that to our little pin. And then you can also write information. Since this is our first spot, not our first stop, but our starting point to our road trip. Okay. It's also cool because it tells you the latitude, longitude, altitude, all these really cool things. But now I'm going to search for our next stop. Now what's really great is that students will have to research from Oregon to Idaho and what route to take. There's many different ways. They're going to have to pick one and see where to go and see where they're going to want to stop on the way. So I've already done that. So I know the next stop I would want to make is Bend, Oregon, and we are going to go to the Newberry National and see, they already have it up. And what's really great is, once again, talking about those different learning styles and different learning levels. Maybe students want to calculate how many miles between each stop and calculate the gas. That's just another way, another added lesson for students. And this is going to cut me off because it's almost at 15 minutes, but then you can drop another pin at the Newberry National Volcanic and do the exact same thing. And students can add their information and facts to it. And then when it's done, I'll show you before time runs out, is you can actually present your presentation, which is really, really cool. But I only have one slide, so it's not going to be that cool. But then students can present this as a presentation and everything that they've learned. So this is a great tool to use in the classroom for STEM education. And I talked for too long, so this is going to cut me off. But I think I covered everything, and I'm really excited to implement this app and this lesson into the classroom. Thank you.